Man, the SoundCloud era is officially over now.
I think Lil Uzi Vert has officially forgotten how to make music, because I'm sorry, Eternal Take 2 is absolutely unlistenable. This album has absolutely nothing to go back to. I don't even want to listen to the album again.
If 2024 has told us anything about the climate of rap today, a clear resemblance will be of how many of these artists are flopping at a crazy rate, and how common and normalized it's becoming. So the GOAT of the SoundCloud era, Lil Uzi, has recently dropped his 4th studio album, Eternal Take 2, this past Friday, which is a clear sequel to his 2nd album, Eternal Take, that came out back in 2020 and was a huge deal to hip-hop at the time, with it arguably being one of the most hyped and anticipated albums ever, as his most recent project clearly hasn't met those same standards either from a fan's point of view and also from a commercial aspect either. Eternal Take 2 was always doomed from the start in my opinion, and was never gonna have the same impact as the first one, just off the fact that it was a follow-up to the biggest project of his career, where it seemed like the world paused for a minute just to give this album a listen. The rollout seemed very last minute, like he really only started promoting it a week before the album actually came out, which granted it was in a unique way with the whole UFO riding above New York, and he had the Eternal Take symbols over his whole discography, which I thought was dope, but overall the promotion and effort that he put towards his project compared to the rest clearly shows a night and day difference between them, where he spent years on years building up anticipation for these albums, making them seem as if they were bigger than life with a thematic element to them, to whereas Eternal Take 2 just simply got an Instagram post and a date of when the album was gonna come out, and this laziness or lack of urgency, whatever you want to call it, seemed to carry over throughout this album too, where many songs on this project come off as uninspiring, or he's just simply high off the nitrous whippets, as he's revealed that he's highly addicted to them, with videos surfacing of him using them, which can alter your voice in this extremely deep, drugged up pitch. A lot of the songs on here are very repetitive, it lacks a lot of melodic energy, the Eternal Take sound is not in this album at all like it was in the first one, and the feature he had with Big Time Rush was so bad. It's literally just them saying "we're Big Time Rush" in the beginning of the song. They're not singing in it, there's no verse, there's no hook, there's nothing. There ain't even nobody else featured on this project, and with the trash effort that Uzi gave, I could tell why. At least with Pink Tape, though I wasn't really the biggest fan of the project, he was very experimental and tried new sounds out with different melodies, whether hit or miss. While this album sounds like it was recorded in 2 days off the whippets. And Uzi selling over 60,000 copies in his first week with this project is a clear massive drop off, not only from his first Eternal Take but also from his last project, the Pink Tape. And this definitely should be a wake up call for Uzi for how terrible this album really is. But even with that, I still didn't expect his numbers to be this low. I at least thought that he was still gonna crack over at least 100k. I know a lot of rappers have been flopping this year, but we still got some doing good numbers. Tyler the Creator nearly sold 300,000 copies in 4 days, and sold over 150,000 in the second week. Rod Wave sold really well himself. When Lil Durk drops, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do good. The big three, Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, they're all gonna sell good. And even Uzi's biggest peer, Playboi Carti's about to have a huge album. So there's clearly a market of rappers that could still sell well in 2024, despite the many flops that's been happening of many artists. But the catch to it is you still gotta drop great music. If your album isn't good enough, mid, or just bad, then more than likely you're gonna flop in this new era of music. This isn't the SoundCloud days no more when mid was selling and was at a high focal point. A lot of those kids have grown up and got bills to pay and kids to feed, and nearly don't have the time and patience to listen to an album that's gonna be mid. If that's the case, they'll just go back and listen to your music from 6-7 years ago, where you were at your peak litness and made them feel good at the time. And I feel like this is the crossroads of where Lil Uzi is at in his career now, where the fans who used to blindly be loyal to you no matter what type of music you drop are now turning on you, saying that you used to be their favorite rapper, the music you drop ain't the same no more.
Uzi has officially fallen off. His career might be over.